The next mini lesson we have is on percent composition. Percent composition, really to get basic with it, means how many parts are there out of the whole. The whole composition, the part of the composition. There are two ways in which we look at it in chemistry. We look at it by mass, and so if we find the total mass and the parts of the mass, we can find the percent by mass, but we can also do it by particle. And by particle means how many pieces make up a compound and how many pieces make up the whole thing. So let's go to each one here. Let's try just a simple example. Water. H2O, when you count it out, has 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, giving us 3 total atoms. Okay? Now, out of that, 2 of the 3 of those atoms are hydrogen, and 1 out of the 3 of those atoms are oxygen. We take 2 out of 3, and to get it to a percentage, we multiply it by 100, and we come up with some simple answers here. 66% is hydrogen, and 33% is oxygen. Now, that's a great way to look at it, but one of the things that it neglects is the size of the pieces. And so we also have a separate measurement called percent composition by mass. Now, by mass, I look at a water molecule, and I take the 2 hydrogen, each one, and an oxygen 16 to know that I have approximately 18. Now, if we went with atoms, we'd just say 18 AMUs, okay? Now, I know that 16 of those 18 AMUs belong to oxygen, and I know that 2 of the 18 AMUs belong to hydrogen. Now, when I divide those numbers out, I come up with about an 89, and I multiply again by 100, and I multiply this by 100, and I come up with about an 11%. So by mass is considerably different, because not only have we flipped the particles because hydrogen is such a small molecule, but at the same time we've also flipped the mass to know that oxygen is actually the dominant piece in a water molecule by mass, but by the number of particles it is hydrogen. So you have to know and describe, when you are talking about percent composition, one of the key parts that people want to know is that, is it by mass or is it by particle?